Hello my dear students, welcome back to physics class. Today we are going to explore something very exciting from the world of science, that is sonar. The magic behind how some creatures and machines see and navigate using sound. So here we go with sonar. Children, what is sonar? The full form of sonar is sound navigation and ranging. Sound navigation and ranging. Children, sonar is a device used to measure the depth of a sea or to identify the enemy obstacles. Enemy obstacles like submarines, or you can even identify the shoals of fish inside the sea. So the principle on which this device sonar works on is reflection of sound. So it sends some signals deep inside the water and then they are reflected back in the form of echo, and hence the obstacles can be identified. Okay, so let us try to understand deep regarding this. Children, generally the device sonar is fixed to the bottom of the ship somewhere here. So what happens means this device emits some ultrasonic sound signals. Ultrasonic sound signals are simply ultrasonic waves. So these ultrasonic waves travel deep inside the water as shown like this. So these are the ultrasonic waves are sent through the transmitter. So generally this device sonar is having two things. One is transmitter and the other is receiver. So what is the purpose of transmitter? It sends the ultrasonic waves deep inside the water. So these waves, after reaching the seabed, again that is obstacle, it is reflected back. Okay, so this is how it is being reflected back. These are the reflected sound waves. The pink color indicates the reflecting sound waves and that orange color indicates your transmitters. Okay, so again these reflected sound waves are received and recorded by the receiver, again which is attached to the device. Got it, children? So how this has been calculated means the waves are sent, again reflected back in the form of an echo, and then the depth of the sea is calculated. Let us try to understand how the depth of the sea is being calculated. In order to calculate the depth of the sea, let us suppose that the total depth of the sea be some d. So these waves travel d distance deep inside the water and again travel back the same distance d back to the ship. Okay, inside the water d distance and again back to the ship d distance. So the total distance covered by these waves is 2d. If v is the speed of sound inside the water and t is the time taken to transmit and again to receive back, then from the formula speed equals to distance by time, we have speed equals to distance by time. What is the total distance, children? D inside and D back again. So that is D plus D, totally we have 2D. And if the T is the time taken for the entire process, then distance upon T, it is written as V is equals to 2D by. Bringing the T other side, we have VT is equals to 2D, or D can be calculated by VT upon 2. Hence, the depth of the sea, D, can be calculated by using the formula Vt upon 2. Children, why do we prefer only ultrasonic waves to measure the depth of the sea? The reason behind this is ultrasonic waves have a very high frequency. Because of this, they can penetrate through the deep inside the seawater without any absorption. So it has as it is having a high penetration power because of its high frequency, they are not absorbed by any other obstacles. So generally we prefer ultrasonic waves. The frequency of ultrasonic waves is around more than 20,000 Hz, so which cannot be caught by a normal human ear. Even the bats and dolphins can produce and hear these ultrasonic waves. Even the dogs can also identify the ultrasonic waves, but not we the humans. Okay, so children, so the reason why the ultrasonic waves are being used for this purpose. And one more thing, children, these ultrasonic waves are not mixed up with any other noise. So like noise like a ship and all. Okay, these ultrasonic waves are totally different from the noise made by the outside atmosphere. So moving ahead, let us try to understand the classification of sounds. Okay, so what is that, children? Classification of sound waves on the basis of the frequency. Classification of sound waves on the basis of frequency. Children, generally the sound waves are classified into two types based on the frequency. One is infrasonic waves and the other is ultrasonic ultrasonic waves. So infrasonic waves has a frequency less than 20 hertz, whereas ultrasonic waves having a frequency of 20,000 hertz, more than 20,000 hertz. So let us try to understand them in detail. Children, based on the frequency of sound note, these are classified into three categories. So let us look into that. Classification of sound based on the frequency. Children, based on the frequency, sound is classified into three categories. First one, ultrasonic sound. First of all, let us understand infrasonic sound. The first one would be infrasonic sound. Second, ultrasonic sound. And one more is sonic sound. It has another name. It's nothing but the audible frequency, audible sound. Okay. So based on the frequency, sounds are classified into three categories. One is infrasonic sound, the other is ultrasonic sound, and finally sonic sound. So let us try to understand in detail. So what is infrasonic sound, children? If the frequency of a vibrating body is less than 20 hertz, how much is that? If the frequency of a body is less than 20 hertz, as I have told you earlier, hertz is the unit of frequency. Frequency 1 by reciprocal of time period. The number of vibration produced per second is measured as frequency. Okay. So, if the frequency of a vibrating body is less than 20 hertz, then it is termed as infrasonic sound. And suppose if the frequency of the sound is more than 20,000 hertz. This is 20 hertz and it is 20,000 hertz. Let us also write it. Few books they will be writing this. 1000 is indicated by K hertz. Okay. So both are same, children. 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz, both are same. So if the frequency of a sound vibrating body is less than 20 hertz, they come under the category of infrasonic waves. And if the frequency of the vibrating body is more than 20,000 hertz, they are categorized under ultrasonic sound. And if the frequency of a vibrating body is in between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, they come under sonic sound or audible sound. So who can detect this infrasonic sound? Elephants generally communicate using these infrasonic sounds. Okay, even during the earthquakes or a heavy storm, infrasonic sounds is being produced. Whenever you observe in science laboratories and a simple pendulum oscillates to and fro. So this is a slow process. Okay, so the frequency, the vibrating body, that is simple pendulum, also produces infrasonic sound. So three examples I have given you. Elephants generally communicate using infrasonic waves. The simple pendulum also produces infrasonic sound, and during the earthquake or a heavy storm, infrasonic sound is produced. But this is generally less than 20 hertz. The frequency of this is generally less than 20 hertz. So this cannot be normally detected by a human ear. So we can't identify this frequency. So we can't detect the infrasonic sound. So now moving to the ultrasonic sound. So as I told you, what is ultrasonic sound, children? If the frequency of a vibrating body is more than 20,000 hertz, they are categorized under ultrasonic sound. So who can detect and who can create this ultrasonic sound? Means bats and dolphins generally produce ultrasonic sounds. Okay, so these bats, you know that bats are having no eyesight. Okay, so as they can't see, so and they have to travel during the night time, and it has to catch his prey. So during this time, okay, as it has a poor eyesight, bats are generally having a poor eyesight, so they will be releasing the ultrasonic sounds, and these ultrasonic sounds are again reflected back whenever there exists an obstacle over there. It can be any prey or some obstacle. So based on the echoes or the reflected waves, so the bat bats will be flying and catching its prey in the safer area even during the night time. Even the dolphins also produces your ultrasonic waves. And dogs can hear the ultrasonic. So remember, the dogs can identify or hear the ultrasonic waves which the normal human being cannot detect it. Okay. So now coming to the next topic, that is sonic sound is nothing but an audible sound. So audible sound is generally 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. This can be detected by a normal human ear. So we are able to identify the sound which is in the range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. But a normal human ear can hardly makes a sound of about 13,000, 60 Hz to 13,000 Hz. So generally we communicate ourselves with our fellow friend in the range of 60 Hz to 13,000 Hz. But even though we are able to detect the sound within the range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Got it? Apart from that, even musical notes will come under this 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. But the children, the baby children of lesser age, smaller age, below 5 years and all, they can even detect the sound more than that, more than 20,000 Hz, up to 23,000, they can detect this sounds. So now moving to the next topic, children, applications of ultrasound. So the applications of ultrasound is generally used. So we have a lot of technological advancement is coming on. So these ultrasonic waves are generally used by the doctors to diagnose many diseases, to diagnose the different diseases. We are using ultrasonic sound by the doctor. And these ultrasonic sounds can penetrate inside the brain, sent inside the brain to cure mental patients. Okay. See how useful are these? Even these ultrasonic waves are sent inside our body to relieve the pain from joint pains and muscle pains. Okay, children. So not only this, even these ultrasonic waves can identify or detect the flaws inside some metals. Metal is there, some disc-like structure, so car discs and all, any flaws are there, any cracks are there inside those metal discs and all. We can send this ultrasonic waves inside it, and with the help of the reflecting wave pulse, we can identify the flaws or cracks inside our metals. And these ultrasonic waves are even used to kill harmful insects. Like few people will be using for mosquitoes and all, but harmful insects can be killed by sending these ultrasonic sound. Okay, children. So not only this sound, so these ultrasonic waves are used to clean some delicate objects like jewelry and watches. Okay, so as it can penetrate deep inside that, where the normal things cannot be penetrated. Okay, and very casually we know that the depth of the sea can be measured using this ultrasonic waves, and can also be used to break the kidney stones into fine grains. Not only this, children, you can even study or investigate the structure of matter. The structure of matter can also be investigated with the help of this ultrasonic sound. Okay, children. So these are the applications of your ultrasonic sound. So what are the things? Let us recall back. One is, it is used by the doctors to diagnose the different diseases, use it to cure the mental patients. Okay. Third, to cure the joint pains and muscle pains. And next, to identify the flaws in the metals. Next, to kill the harmful insects, and to clean the delicate objects like jewelry, gold and watches, and even to identify the depth of the sea, and also to break the kidney stones into fine grains, and also to investigate the structure of matter and to detect the flaws inside metals. Got it, children?